Sound like something growling at me. Yeah. So good for you, and so worth it. Yeah, boys. Whew. Hey everybody, MinerBiker here. Me and both of the dogs and the Fezzari LaSalle Peak are back here on the Skyline Trail for part 2. We are at the very, hold on a second, distract the dog. We're at the very southeast end of the trail over at what's called Big Flat here. So you got the parking area, the restrooms there, and then the start of the trail is right there. I parked over there in the shade. So this is gonna be part 2 of Skyline Trail. So the first part, in the last video, we rode from the middle at Lakestream trailhead all the way over to Blue Lake Trail and back. Now we're gonna ride from here at Big Flat over to Lakestream and back to cover this part. It's got some incredible views, some absolutely gorgeous forest riding. Not near as much water as the last one, and this doesn't get us all the way above the tree line like the last one did, but it is still absolutely beautiful. It's an incredible trail. It's got some rugged parts. It's gonna be fun. Alrighty, there's the start of the single track. Got our non-motorized sign, which is one of the more lovely things in the world. Need more of those everywhere. Starts out with pretty steady little climb. Not steep, but fairly steady for a little ways up out of the trailhead there. Whew. We're back up high again. It's actually a week after part 1. We were up here camping last weekend over at the Lakestream area. Actually saw a bear the night after I videoed part 1. At night we're camping there, had a little black bear come and visited camp, nosed around the trailer a little bit. Kind of exciting and fun to see them. Definitely out here, guarantee they see me a lot more than I see them. All right, it's our first real good view spot. This is looking down into what's called City Creek Canyon. So this is City Creek Peak over here. It's looking down the town of Junction. You can see the south end of Pite Reservoir. And then just out of sight around that way is Circleville. City Creek descends down right to the bottom of the really steep switchback dirt road that climbs up onto the mountain from Junction. Crossed over there up into that valley is where Antimony and Otter Creek are. You can see Thousand Lake Mountain, Boulder Mountain. Really pretty. A little bit hazy today. Too many forest fires going on. Not too bad. What the heck? Just a tree creaking. Sound like something growling at me. Just a tree creaking. Oh, so many stretches through this forest are such pretty single track. You can just cruise. Heads up, move, move, move. Ah, there we go, up a little more. Let's go downhill. Send it. And we're going up again. Lots up and down. Yeah. Whew. This right here is the City Creek Trail. Heads off this way to the right, and it actually takes you and it'll drop you down this canyon, down to City Creek, obviously. See the town of Circleville there, Mountain Dutton across the way. See, go down towards Panguitch. Stuff off that direction. Skyline keeps going this way. City Creek Trail, I've never actually been on it yet. I want to try it. When I do, see that it's actually like reasonable. Maybe like put it on Trail Forks or something, but for now it's not on the map. That's where it is. Down we go again. Super off camber and loose. Horses have kind of sloughed part of the trail away. Little rocky. This part's always fun to climb back up going the other direction. Hey, bud. Not a huge amount of trail to work with. A beautiful view. This is looking right down on the very north tip of Paiute Reservoir. That's the one. And a big beautiful canyon down below us. Marysville is just off over that way. You can see Fish Lake High Top over there, Monroe Mountain and Glenwood Mountain up that way, Thousand Lake, Boulder, where we just come from, City Creek Peak up there. We just traversed around that side of it and then cut through the little pass and then along here. And we're gonna actually do quite a big drop down right here. It drops down through a really big saddle and then hikes you right back up the other side. This is definitely the tough part of this segment of trail, is this next part right here, both directions. It's a steep drop down and then a brutal climb back up. That's always fun. That was really awkward with the roots angled down the hill. Just kind of like to kick you off. Nice. Good little drop down there. I gotta climb all the way back up that little hill there to the right.
after we drop down just a little bit more. And on the way back we had to climb up everything that we just come down. Good times. Oh, it's off camera. Anyways. And here we go. Up. Enjoy the downhill while it lasts. Probably gonna end up doing some hiking biking up this because this first little bit is crazy. Steep and loose. Oh, yep, I spun out already. Well, it's still steep, but at least we're on the bike pedaling again. Up the beefy part of the climb. Still got some climbing to do. We're up the real steep part. Number 6, you go down. Yeah, boys. Good climb. Big freshly down tree. Brought down by wind since they cleared trail. Little trail off there to the left drops you down to the Lakestream road. It's just down below us a little ways. This trail dropping off to the right, forest trail number 72, that takes you down into, it's called Gold's Gulch canyon that comes up from down between Marysville and Junction. You can connect that down. And trail 72 heads back off right there to the right, takes you down into Cottonwood Creek, Cottonwood Canyon, which comes up from just south of Marysville. It's hard to half ratchet when it's so loose in between the rocks. Your target's in there. Then you go to ratchet. As soon as you put on power, it just spins. Another trail fork. This right here is the Lakestream Trail, number 219. It's also called on some maps and stuff as Skyline to South Edna Peak Trail. This takes off here and runs along the east flank of Mount Holly, around the head of Cottonwood Creek over to the Alunite Ridge trailhead. You can see it's 3 miles. It's a very steep, rugged trail. And Skyline number 225 heads down this way, down to the Lakestream trailhead. Here we are. Recognize this as the big meadow here where we came up from the Lakestream trailhead down below to the left. We came up to here with part one and headed up over that ridge up there. So down that way is the Lakestream trailhead, just maybe a quarter mile down. That's where we started part one. We came up over that ridge and then traversed around all the way over to Blue Lake Trail and back again down to there. And I've tied it all together with part two, coming from Big Flat to here. And there's some nice dogs down there enjoying the nice creek water. That's one thing on this kind of southeastern part of Skyline. There's not nearly the water there is on the other part. Pretty much just this here at the end, because there's no other creeks or anything, because you're up on the ridge line. You're not on the side of the mountain where there's water coming down from the snow up above. Alrighty, this is how we've reached the turnaround point, where we join together with what we've already done. We're gonna head back this way, back the way we just come from. See off there down to the right, the trail drops down to the Lakestream trailhead. That was where we camped and saw the bear last weekend. Yep. Power up that stuff. Whew. Back at the trail intersection. I'm actually gonna take a detour. We're gonna go up this other trail a little ways up to where there's a big overlook over the mountains and down into Cottonwood Creek. Incredible view. From there on, it starts to drop back down really steep. So we'll just go up to there. It'll be some good hiking to get there, but it'll be fun to come back down. It'll be worth it for the view. And we'll continue on our way that way on Skyline. So yeah, let's head up this way a bit. Oh, the old CCC terraces, the Civilian Conservation Corps, back in the Great Depression, when sheep and cattle were grazing, had completely overrun the mountains, grubbed down all the vegetation to the point where there's nothing to hold soils in place anymore. They're having massive erosion problems all over these mountain ranges. So during the Great Depression, the federal government put people to work that were out of jobs. They put them to work up here in the mountains, building access roads and stuff, but also going and cutting in these terraces along the mountainsides for the purpose of holding the soil in place until vegetation could grow back. Not gonna make it up that one. And here's where the steep part starts. Right down here below us, this is the meadow where the Lakestream trailhead, or Lakestream trail, comes up. Right down there's where I just barely turned around. Told you it was gonna get steep. Yeah, it's steep. I believe it's gonna be exciting to come down. We're only at 11,000 and a little bit feet. Just a little high. So good for you and so worth it. Yeah, boys. Woo. Yeah, sick. Alrighty, so we're up here on top of the ridge line, right below Mount Holly. There's Delano, the highest peak in the range, at 12,200 something feet, I think. These are the Edna Peaks, That is Mount Brigham. That pass over there is Alunite Ridge. It's where the Alunite Ridge trailhead is. So this trail now takes an insanely steep plunge down through here and down into this bowl and around the head of Cottonwood Canyon over to Alunite Ridge. And then from there, you can connect over into Bullion Canyon and South Fork of Pine Creek and so on. Up over this direction, you got a beautiful view of Paiute Reservoir down below us. The town of Marysville is right down over here, just to the left. This is Cottonwood Canyon below us. See Monroe Mountain, Glenwood Mountain, clear up to Skyline Drive, Fish Lake High Top, Thousand Lake Mountain, Boulder Mountain, Barney Top out there, Dutton here closer. This is City Creek Peak. See over to Circleville Mountain, and you can see the Ponsegont Plateau off in the distance. And over there you can see that's Big Flat. That's where we started, at the other end of Skyline. Oh, wow. What incredible country. Look at those snowdrifts out there. There's mountain goats up here too. And by the way, it's supposed to be about 100 degrees over by Richfield where I live today. I'd rather be up here. Sun's warm and intense, but the air's nice and cool. Crazy how much steeper it feels hiking up it compared to just rolling down it. Rolling down it's like, oh, it's not as steep. Over the bush. Nice. That was fun. Alright, here we are back on the main Skyline Trail. Alrighty. Check the camera. I'm gonna get the big downhill down here into this big saddle. This is gonna be wild. Yeah. Brake must be getting dusty or hot, either one. Probably come up both. Made it down. Pretty excited for the big climb coming up. Yeah. Made it down. What goes down must go back up again on this ride. Yeah. This is marvelously good for you. Getting there. Yeah, boys. Woo. Headed back up here. Fair little overlook, looking down on the south end of Paiute. That's a good climb right there. Back on all this narrow off-camber across this hillside. Not quite done with the climb yet. Pretty view down on Puffer Lake down there. Eagle Point Ski Resort's just up over the top. You can see Shelley Baldy, Mount Baldy over there, back up towards Holly. Oh, pretty. Way off down towards Beaver. Absolutely gorgeous. Yeah. Here we are back at where the City Creek Trail forks off. Oh man, I ain't gonna ride up this one. Nope. That's too loose. Look how loose that rock is. See, back up that way to Mount Holly. That flank right on the right side of it. That next kind of step down where it's a little greener. That's where he climbed all the way up to. And you can see Mount Brigham. Just see the top of Delano sticking up over there. And then Baldy. Oh, it's pretty. That little rugged spot we just come up. Dusty. Always sandy gravel. Oh, that was tricky with that tree right there. Rocks are tricky enough, and you put that tree right there. And the good line through the rocks. Put you right in your handlebar right against that tree. See a truck. Yeah. There we are. Down and dusty. It is a little dusty. Woohoo! Oh yeah. Alright buddy, that does it for Skyline National Recreation Trail up here in the Tusher Mountains. We're back at Big Flat. That's the end of part 2
Make sure you check out part 1 if you haven't already. Check out the other videos on the channel. It's a pretty cool trail up here, and there's lots of other forest trails going all over. Most of them are pretty rugged. They're, you know, they're old horse and hiking trails and stuff that were built long before mountain biking was really even a thing. So they're tough. If you're gonna come try and ride anything up here, be prepared. Good shout out to the dogs. They're a little dusty after chasing me down through all that. That's a good boy up here. How you doing? How are you doing, yeah? How are you? And with the camera. Good doggies. Anyways, thanks everybody for watching. Big thanks to the companies I'm able to represent. Fezzari Bicycles is amazing. Absolute Black, Pedaling Innovations, Honey Stinger, Powered to Ride, and yeah, so good. I'm blessed to be able to do what I do, be able to have a job that allows me the flexibility to come out and do this stuff as much as I do, and to live where I do, to have the dogs that I do. Anyways, thanks everybody for watching. Keep digging up new places to ride.